Hello, brothers, and welcome to Sigma Old Man Channel. You don't play chess with a grandmaster expecting mercy, you play expecting to lose. Sigma males operate on a different level, a level so calculated, so unshakable that trying to outsmart them feels like bringing a plastic spoon to a sword fight. Did you know studies show that individuals who rely more on independent thinking are often misjudged as arrogant or aloof? Well, that's the Sigma male in a nutshell. Misunderstood by most, underestimated by many, and unstoppable by all. But don't mistake his quiet demeanor for weakness. Behind that calm exterior lies a mind sharper than a double-edged sword, and if you think you can toy with him, you've already lost the game before it even began. This isn't just about why you shouldn't play with a Sigma male, it's about why you can't. Buckle up. This is where the rules of the game are rewritten, and spoiler alert, you're not the one holding the pen. Number one, he doesn't play fair, he plays smart. A Sigma male doesn't play fair because he knows fairness is often just an illusion, a concept society uses to keep everyone predictable and in line. He doesn't waste time worrying about how things should be. He focuses on how things are and adjusts his strategy accordingly. This isn't about cheating or being underhanded, it's about being smarter, quicker, and more adaptable than anyone else in the room. He plays by his own set of rules, rules you likely won't see coming until it's too late. While most people get tangled up in doing things the right way, he's busy looking for the way that works best. That's his edge. He doesn't care about the optics or sticking to some outdated moral code that only benefits the other side. If bending the rules gets him closer to his goal, he won't hesitate. But the brilliance lies in how subtle he is about it. There's no grand show of defiance, no loud proclamation of rebellion. He rewrites the game so seamlessly you don't even realize the rules have changed until he's already won. This isn't arrogance, it's strategy. He understands that life isn't a level playing field, so why pretend it is? He's not interested in fair fights or playing nice just to make others comfortable. Instead, he focuses on outcomes, always staying one step ahead while everyone else is busy following the script. And the best part? You'll never see him coming. He doesn't gloat, doesn't celebrate. He just moves on to the next challenge, leaving you wondering how he managed to dismantle your game without breaking a sweat. That's the power of playing smart, not fair. It's not about being ruthless, it's about being unstoppable. Number two, he knows your moves before you make them. A Sigma male isn't a mind reader, but he might as well be. His ability to predict your moves isn't some mystical gift, it's the result of years spent quietly observing people, analyzing behavior, and connecting dots others don't even notice. To him, nothing you do is random. Every glance, every pause, every overly dramatic reaction is just another piece of the puzzle he's already solved. It's not paranoia, it's precision. While most people are busy reacting to situations, he's calculating outcomes. He spots patterns in the smallest details, the way your tone shifts when you're lying, the nervous habits you can't hide, or the way you overcompensate when you're feeling insecure. By the time you think you're being clever or subtle, he's already mapped out your entire playbook and prepared counter-strategies for moves you haven't even thought of yet. This isn't about manipulation or control, it's about self-preservation. A Sigma male knows that understanding people at this level gives him an edge, and he uses that edge to protect his time, energy, and peace of mind. He's not here to fall for emotional traps or power plays. And when you try to test him, you'll quickly find out how frustrating it is to spar with someone who's always 5 steps ahead. He's not showing off, he's simply wired to see what others overlook. It's not personal, it's just how he survives in a world full of predictable chaos. By the time you think you've caught him off guard, he's already moved on, leaving you wondering how he managed to sidestep you so effortlessly. That's the art of knowing your moves before you even make them. Number 3, he's not afraid to be the villain. A Sigma male has no interest in playing the hero if it comes at the expense of his self-respect. He understands that the world loves to label people, heroes, villains, saints, sinners, but he doesn't lose sleep over where he lands in your story. If standing up for himself, saying no, or walking away paints him as the bad guy in your narrative, he'll accept the role without hesitation. He's not here to win a popularity contest. He's here to live on his own terms. When he sets boundaries, they're not up for negotiation. He won't bend over backwards to accommodate others just to keep the peace. If someone crosses a line, he'll call it out unapologetically and without sugarcoating it. It might ruffle feathers, but he's not concerned about avoiding discomfort. His loyalty lies with his principles, not with the fragile feelings of those who can't handle his honesty. Being misunderstood doesn't scare him either. He knows that some people will twist his actions or words to fit their narrative, portraying him as cold, arrogant, or even cruel. That's fine. He's not wasting energy explaining himself to those who've already decided to misjudge him. In fact, he embraces the distance that comes with those misunderstandings. It's a natural filter that keeps insincerity at bay. What sets him apart is that he's willing to be the villain if that's what it takes to protect his peace. He doesn't need validation or approval to know he's doing what's right for himself. It's not about being harsh. It's about knowing that sometimes being the bad guy is the only way to ensure you're not the one being played. For a Sigma male, self-respect will always come before someone else's version of the truth. Number 4, he questions everything, including you. A Sigma male is the ultimate skeptic. He doesn't take anything at face value, whether it's a compliment, a command, or some long-standing tradition that everyone else blindly follows. Flattery might make others lower their guard, but for him it's a red flag. Why are you saying this? What's your angle? Compliments aren't inherently bad, but he knows that words, especially sweet ones, often come with hidden strings attached. Authority holds no special power over him either. Titles, status, or hierarchy don't impress him. They just make him more curious. He doesn't care who you are. He cares why you're doing what you're doing. He'll question decisions, challenge logic, and poke holes in any argument until the truth falls out. This isn't to be difficult or combative. It's because he values authenticity over appearances. If something doesn't add up, he'll be the first to call it out, no matter who's standing in front of him. Tradition, don't even try. Just because something has always been done a certain way doesn't mean it makes sense to him. He dismantles outdated ideas with surgical precision, not out of disrespect, but because blind obedience has no place in his world. He's not here to follow the crowd or accept a script someone else wrote for him, and yes, he'll question you too, your motives, your sincerity, and even your silence. Nothing escapes his radar. He doesn't assume malice, but he doesn't assume innocence either. If your actions don't align with your words, he'll notice. If your intentions seem off, he'll figure it out. You can't deceive someone who's hardwired to search for the truth. It's not personal, it's survival. For him, questioning everything isn't a choice, it's a lifestyle. And in his world, only what's real survives the scrutiny. Number 5, he's focused on outcomes, not ego. A Sigma male couldn't care less about flexing or showing off. He's too busy getting things done. For him, success isn't about making a spectacle or gathering applause. It's about achieving something tangible, something that actually matters. His actions aren't fueled by a need to boost his ego or prove he's better than you. He doesn't need that validation because his focus is on outcomes, not optics. Every decision he makes, every step he takes is deliberate and calculated. He doesn't waste energy on petty rivalries or meaningless victories. If something doesn't push him closer to his goals, it's not worth his time. This kind of focus can be intimidating because he doesn't play the typical games people are used to. No power moves, no endless debates, no need to remind you of how great he is. His results speak for themselves, and they speak loudly. It's not arrogance, it's efficiency. He knows that ego trips are distractions, expensive, time-consuming ones at that. While others are busy competing for the spotlight, he's quietly building, creating, and winning on his own terms. By the time the rest of the crowd realizes what he's accomplished, he's already moved on to the next challenge, leaving them wondering how he managed to do so much without ever clamoring for attention. This makes him a wild card. You can't predict or manipulate someone who's immune to flattery and indifferent to recognition. His moves are purposeful, not performative, and that's what sets him apart. He's not here to play the same old ego-driven games. He's here to win the ones that actually matter, and he doesn't need an audience for that. Number 6, he lives in the shadows by choice. A Sigma male doesn't avoid the spotlight because he lacks the ability to stand out. He avoids it because he understands its cost. Attention might feed egos, but it also invites scrutiny, expectations, and distractions. For someone who values freedom and autonomy above all else, the spotlight feels more like a trap than a trophy. He'd rather work quietly in the background, where he can move without restrictions and act without constant judgment. Living in the shadows isn't a sign of weakness, it's a calculated choice. Operating behind the scenes gives him an unmatched advantage. He sees everything while revealing almost nothing. While others are busy trying to perform to impress or to maintain their image, he's focused on what really matters: control over his own path. He knows that power isn't always about being seen. Sometimes it's about staying invisible while pulling the strings. This approach gives him a level of independence that those in the spotlight rarely enjoy. He doesn't have to worry about maintaining appearances or living up to other people's expectations. He's free to experiment, make mistakes, and pivot without the fear of public backlash. The world can speculate all it wants, but he remains an enigma, impossible to pin down. And the truth is, he could shine if he wanted to. He has the skills, the charisma, and the intelligence to take center stage. But why bother? To him, the spotlight is just a noisy distraction that keeps people chasing validation instead of true success. By staying in the shadows, he doesn't just avoid the noise, he controls it. That's the kind of power most people never even realize exists. Number 7, your drama is his exit cue. For a Sigma male, drama is like a mosquito buzzing in his ear, annoying, unnecessary, and something he'll swat away without hesitation. He's not here for your emotional chaos, your petty games, or your need to stir the pot, just to see what spills. The moment things start getting messy for no reason, he's already halfway out the door. And no, he doesn't leave with a big speech or dramatic exit. He just vanishes, leaving you wondering how you managed to lose him so quickly. It's not that he's cold or insensitive. He simply values his peace too much to sacrifice it on the altar of unnecessary theatrics. He spent years building a life that's free from clutter, emotional, mental, or otherwise, and he's not about to let someone else's need for attention or control disrupt that. When faced with drama, he doesn't argue, doesn't engage, and certainly doesn't stick around to fix what isn't his problem. He chooses silence over shouting matches and distance over diving into chaos. This isn't a lack of compassion, it's self-preservation. He knows that drama is a vortex. It sucks you in, drains your energy, and leaves you with nothing but wasted time and a headache. So rather than getting tangled in someone else's web of nonsense, he cuts the thread entirely. No warnings, no explanations, just a clean, quiet exit. And the beauty of it is you can't guilt trip him into staying. Pleas, tears, or attempts to blame him for not caring enough won't work. He sees through those tactics instantly. To him, the ultimate power move isn't winning the argument, it's refusing to play the game at all. His peace is non-negotiable, and the second you threaten it with unnecessary drama, he's already gone. Number 8, indifference is his ultimate weapon. For a Sigma male, indifference isn't just a reaction, it's a strategy. Your opinions, whether glowing or scathing, barely register on his radar. Why? Because his sense of self isn't built on what others think. He's not here for applause, nor is he bothered by criticism. You can't knock him down because he was never climbing your ladder to begin with. That pedestal you think he's on, it doesn't exist in his world. Insults are powerless against him. While most people would bite back or crumble under an attack, he simply shrugs. Your words don't fuel his self-worth, so why waste energy responding to something that holds no weight? Approval is equally meaningless. Flatter him all you want. It's not going to change his course or earn you a permanent spot in his life. He's immune to both praise and provocation because his validation comes from within, not from anyone else. This indifference is what makes him untouchable. He doesn't engage in petty battles or chase after acceptance. He's mastered the art of detachment, and that's his superpower. When you can't rattle someone emotionally, you lose all control over them. It's frustrating for those who want to provoke a reaction, but for him, it's freedom. Even your existence in the grand scheme of his life might not matter much. That's not to say he's heartless or incapable of connection. It's just that his energy is reserved for what truly aligns with his values. Anything outside that, he lets it slide by like water off a duck's back. His indifference isn't about arrogance, it's about priorities. And his priority is simple: living life on his own terms, untouched by the noise of opinions, drama, or expectations. Number 9, he redefines dominance without trying. While alphas are busy projecting loud authority, trying to stake their claim with visible displays of power, Sigma males redefine dominance without lifting a finger. They don't shout to be heard. They don't need to command a room with bluster or theatrics. Instead, they possess a quiet, unshakable confidence that naturally draws respect from those around them. Their presence is felt before they even speak, because their actions speak louder than any words ever could. Sigma males don't enter a space with the intention of ruling it. They simply exist in it, and their sheer self-assurance commands attention. They don't need to demand respect because it's earned through consistent, deliberate action. Whether it's their ability to navigate complex situations with ease, their dedication to personal growth, or the way they carry themselves with dignity, respect comes as a natural byproduct. This form of dominance is subtle but powerful. It doesn't require the noise that an alpha uses to gather a following. Instead, the Sigma male leads by example. He doesn't throw weight around to prove his worth. His value is self-evident. People look to him not because they fear him or need to please him, but because they recognize that he is a man who is comfortable with who he is, who moves with purpose, and who doesn't flinch when faced with challenges. In a world where loud personalities often dominate the narrative, the Sigma male proves that true power doesn't need to be broadcasted. It just is. Number 10, he deciphers manipulation before you even try it. Sigma males have a sixth sense when it comes to manipulation. While most people are busy getting caught up in the games others play, they're already 10 steps ahead, effortlessly picking apart the subtle cues and hidden agendas you think you've masked. It's not that they have superhuman powers, it's that they've spent years observing people and learning how to read every little gesture, word, and facial expression. Your manipulative tactics are like a poorly written script to them, and they can recite the plot before you even get to the first act. Whether it's a feigned compliment, a veiled threat, or a subtle guilt trip, the Sigma male sees it for what it is the second you try it. Your lies don't faze him because he's already aware of the truth lurking behind them. He knows exactly what you're trying to do, and he doesn't need to play the same game to shut it down. With the kind of calm precision he's known for, he'll disarm your attempt before you even realize it's been neutralized. And the beauty of it is, he doesn't even need to expose you or create a scene. He'll make you second-guess your own methods, with nothing more than a raised eyebrow or a silent, steady gaze. His confidence is unshaken by your attempts, and he'll let you stumble over your own words while he remains composed. By the time you realize that your manipulation has failed, he's already moved on, leaving you scrambling for a new angle and wondering how he saw through you so easily. In a world that thrives on games, facades, and fleeting victories, the Sigma male stands as the exception, an enigma who doesn't need to play by anyone else's rules to win. His power isn't loud, it's silent. His confidence doesn't demand attention, it commands it. Whether it's his ability to read people, his refusal to engage in drama, or his quiet dominance, he redefines strength in a way that can't be replicated. A Sigma male isn't just a man who walks away from the noise. He's the one who creates his own path, unconcerned with the need for validation or approval. His focus is razor sharp, his peace non-negotiable, and his actions always speak louder than words. He's not here to impress, only to be true to himself. And in doing so, he earns respect without asking for it. So the next time you try to play a game, remember this. The Sigma male is already 5 moves ahead, watching the whole thing unfold with an effortless grace. He won't chase your approval, but when he speaks or doesn't, his presence will always demand to be noticed. And in a world full of noise, that's the kind of power that can never be ignored. If this hit home for you, don't let it end here. Hit that like button to show you're on the same page. Drop a comment to share your thoughts or experiences. And don't forget to subscribe if you want more of this real, no-nonsense content that dives deep into what really makes a Sigma male tick. And hey, if you know someone who needs to hear this, share it with them. The world needs more people who understand that true power isn't about shouting for attention. Let's spread this knowledge and keep peeling back the layers of what it means to be truly unstoppable. Bye for now and see you in the next video.